everyone. My name is Todd. I'm going to be the facilitator of this session today. I'm the program manager for the accounting program. If I can just maybe ask a question while we wait for maybe one or two other people to join us. If someone could just maybe in the question box, just write you can hear and see me, and you can see my slides. So just a quick yes is fine. I don't need everyone to do it. Just need one person to sort of chime in, say all is good. Okay, Jacqueline sort of confirmed, so I'm glad everybody can hear and see me. Perfect. So we'll just wait like another 30 seconds or so. Maybe there might be one or two other people joining us, and then I will start the orientation session. So one more person just jumped on, so just give me a second or so if you just came on board. We're just going to wait to see if anybody else joins us, and then I'll start. So just sit tight for about a few more seconds. Okay, well, let's start. I'm sensitive to people's time, and I appreciate everybody being here at noon. So anyway, so my name, okay, that. Yeah, okay. So my name is Todd Rich. There's my face again on the screen. And I'm the program manager for the accounting program. I will lead today's discussion. I am not an instructor in the program, so I will do my best to sort of guide you through the course and what to expect, but I won't be talking about anything specific in regards to content. So if you have questions, you can obviously ask those directly to the instructors in each course. I've got a couple of screens up here, so if you see me looking a little bit off to the side, I'm not distracted or checking my email. I'm just looking to see if maybe somebody asked a question or that kind of thing. Okay, great. So here's our agenda for today. So really it's just for me to give you a quick overview of the program and how to be successful in an online course. I'll talk a bit about what happens when the program is over. I'll then pause for a second and do a little Q&A, and then I'll actually go into Moodle and I will show you around Moodle and kind of explain how that all works. And then we'll do another Q&A at the end. Before I start, just a quick note that I am recording it, so if you need to jump off, that's fine. I'll send this out to everybody afterwards so they can watch it back if they need to. As Jacqueline already did in the question box, if you have any questions, just send me quick notes, and then I will answer it hopefully in the moment when I see it come up. Otherwise, I'll just wait to the end and answer the question. But I'm okay to sort of bounce back and forth if I see something that pops up that's related to what I'm talking about. Okay, I think that's that. Okay, so before I start, I just wanted to ask a couple of poll questions just to give me a basic sense of your understanding of online learning. So give me a sec to get there. So the first question is, just wondered if people have previously taken an online course. Okay. So you can see from the results that most people have not, which is fine. I'll kind of walk you through the different steps of what it's like, some of the expectations, things you should sort of know about how we design an online course. And then if you have some experience, that's fine. So you can certainly help people along the way if need be. All right, next question. Just curious, how many years of experience people have working in accounting? So basically 0 to 1, 2 to 5, or 6 plus. There we go. Okay, everyone's done it. So there's actually, oh, sorry, there you go. So you can see that there are some people who have 0 to 1 and some people have 6 plus, which is fine. As we go through the course, the people who have some experience in accounting will certainly be able to share some more about their experiences. because they obviously have some work experience that might connect to what the learning is. And when you're in the discussion posts, which I'll talk more about later as well, hopefully those people will be sharing about what they've learned previously, so that students can learn from each other, the instructor learns from you. It's a little more adult education. It's not just the instructor working with people one-on-one, but working as a whole group, because this is a cohort program, which I'll explain more about in a bit, but you'll certainly be together as a group for the next 8 months or so. Okay, last question. Just wondered how many people are working towards their designation? Okay, cool. So you can see from the results that most people are, which is great. I won't go into too much about CPA today, but I can sort of, add a couple of things here and there that might be relevant. Okay, very good. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate it. It sort of helps me as I move through the presentation. Oops, sorry, I'm just getting my cursor here. Okay. I should just add one other thing. So there are 20 students that are signed up so far for the program. So it's a nice sort of good, small, manageable group. And there are 7 of you on here today for the orientation. So a little less than half the class is here, which is fine. So they can kind of watch it back later, but just to give you a sense of who's out there. So here is a little overview of the program. I assume everybody knows what the courses are. Don't ask me why I've highlighted these courses in red. I should update that. There's really no relevance to what they are, except the fact that I think I maybe put them in red because that's for the face-to-face course, so you can kind of ignore the colors there. But anyway, these are the 8 courses in the program. And in the online environment, you'll actually go through them one at a time. You won't be taking them in blocks of 2, which is how the face-to-face courses work. They're just offered one at a time, which allows people to have a little more time for work and balance in life and family and those good things. So it's a little longer to sort of complete the program. It's about 1.5 years. Just, again, allows you more flexibility because people that are doing it online are usually balancing life and work, and et cetera. So there are the 8 courses. The first course you're going to start with is the Fundamentals of Financial Accounting, which in this list is actually number 2. I'm not sure why it's listed here as number 2, but it's really the first course in the program that's online. I'm showing you this from if people are thinking about doing their CPA. These are the advanced courses. You can see that they are much more high-level, intense accounting courses from finance to Financial Accounting 1 and 2, and Advanced Managerial Accounting, Auditing, Tax. So these are really what CPA calls the core classes, and these are the courses that CPA calls the non-core classes. So if you're sort of pursuing your CPA, that's your goal, you'll need to actually take all the courses in both certificates to meet the requirements for their educational components. Once you've done that, then you sort of move on to some other more high advanced sort of PEP stuff, and then there's work experience, and then there's a CPA exam. But from our perspective, these 2 programs meet the educational requirements to pursue your CPA designation. So one of the things I just want to talk about is just about the way we've designed our program, and it's a cohort program. And if you're not familiar with the word cohort or how that works, it's basically the fact that all the students who are in course 1 are the same students in course 2 and course 3, all the way up to course 8. So I think it's a nice sort of thing in terms of you're able to build a network, a support group. You can actually, when the program is over, even before it's over, if you make relationships with people and connect with people, and you know that somebody works in a particular company, and you saw there's a job posting there, it's a great opportunity to network with people on that way as well. So really take advantage of the fact that you're going to be working with these people. Really work hard to build some relationships with these people, to form study groups and those kinds of things, because everyone seems to be on the same path of trying to pursue their CPA. And obviously having this sort of group of students working through the program together, I think will be really beneficial and can really be a nice thing to sort of have if you need it. So one thing I didn't talk about, which I'll sort of mention now, is let's go back here for a quick sec. So here are the accounting courses which you've seen. These are the foundation program. This is the advanced program. Obviously, they're very, very accounting specific, and they're considered hard skills, right? So everyone that's doing this program will come out with a similar understanding of accounting. But what's really becoming more important, if you've seen any trends in sort of, if you've read anything about trends in the business world, there's not that there's less of a emphasis on the hard skills, because obviously everyone needs to have an understanding of tax and auditing and accounting and et cetera, all those things. But it's the soft skills that companies are now looking for more so in some cases, because everyone's going to have the same baseline knowledge of accounting, but it's the soft skills like communication, teamwork, problem solving. Those are the things that are really more important for sometimes in the job world. So as you go through the program, I'll get back to the group work slide. So there may be opportunities, or there may be times in this program where there is group work. So don't sort of see it as, oh gosh, group work. Every time in a group, that one student never does, what he's supposed to, or she doesn't do what she's supposed to, is not carrying their weight. I end up doing all the work. Yeah, that's certainly, we don't want that to be the case, but group work is a big part of the real world, and use this as an opportunity to sort of practice some of those soft skills, because it's a safe environment. Obviously, you're not always assessed on your problem solving or creativity in a real way, but in the real world, those are important skills. So use this opportunity to sort of embrace group work, teamwork, finding ways to sort of problem solve. And maybe the group isn't working out, maybe you could take a leadership role to sort of get the group back on track, right? So those are all important things that, and there's a member of CPA, our rep, who has done some networking events for us, and he's talked about in job interviews, they don't even ask you anything about accounting questions anymore. It's all about the soft skills. So again, it is a part of the program. Embrace it. Find ways to sort of improve your sort of soft skills, because I think it's going to help you in the long run. And that goes to the group discussions as well. So the group discussions will be part of the program. And, again, sometimes people feel, oh gosh, group discussions, but really it's a wonderful opportunity to delve deeper into the topic, to give students a chance to kind of practice what they've learned. And it also gives students who maybe aren't as vocal in an in-class setting, because we all know that there are students who dominate those conversations, and having sort of a chance in a group discussion for someone to think about what they want to say. Maybe they write it down, they have somebody look at it. If English isn't their first language, they have somebody proofread it, and then you post it. So again, it's a nice environment where you can practice those things. It's a safe environment, and the group discussions really do help you delve deeper into the topic and work as a team to solve problems. So again, really embrace the group discussions when they come up in your program, in your classes. I want to talk a bit about academic integrity. So we've done some orientations recently with in-person students, and we have a fair number of international students, and a lot of them actually never heard of the term, which I found very interesting. And maybe they just call it something different in their home country. But here, academic integrity really means about honesty and respect. And it's around, when you do submit work, it's your own work. So you're not cheating on your exams. You're not falsifying and giving credit or not giving credit to somebody if it's their words. You can't just go onto a website, pull off information without citing it and make it and claim it's your own work. So these are all things about academic integrity that we take very seriously. A lot of your exams and quizzes and stuff, they are open book, which is fine, which does sort of help with academic integrity. But there are other opportunities in the program where you'll be, writing sort of short answers. And that's really where the academic integrity will probably be most relevant in this program, and also on your final exams and stuff. So it's really important. If you are caught cheating on an exam, you can fail the exam, you can be removed from the program. So it has big implications. If you have questions, ask your instructor, read the course outline. But the most important thing is really need to submit your work and not somebody else's work, or not your friend's work if you're doing it together and have the same exact answers. That's just not allowed. I'll talk about the exams later, so just sit tight for those. But there will be proctored final exams, and they're run through an external organization called Examinee, and I'll talk about that in a second. So most of you should know this already, but I'll just sort of say this quickly. So the program isn't facilitated by an instructor. It's not self-directed. You're not doing it on your own. The instructor should be online Monday through Friday, responding to questions, facilitating discussions, posting sort of helpful videos and things to help you learn the material. We expect, you should probably budget around 8 to 10 hours of effort each week. And really, the nice thing about online is it's not synchronous. So you don't have to be online at Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So when you do those 8 to 10 hours, really it's up to you. So you may do 2 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Tuesday, skip Wednesday because you've got something else going on, come back to it on Wednesday, do it in the morning, do it after the kids go to bed. Really up to you of how you balance your workload, but you should basically allow about 8 to 10 hours of effort a week for textbook readings, problems, discussions, all that good stuff. There are assignments, activities, exams, etc. This class, it's actually an older slide, so there's actually 20 students in the class currently, not 25. And each course will require you to buy some textbooks. So we'll show you what that looks like, and then you can go out and get those through the bookstore, or maybe you've got another source or Amazon, that kind of thing. That's all fine for us. After the program ends, everyone will get a certificate as well as invited to our graduation. So you kind of should expect that sort of out there as well. Okay, so before I jump to Moodle and show you around the actual course, does anybody have any questions for me at this point about anything I've talked about in terms of group work, academic integrity, sort of how to be successful in an online environment? No questions, so that sounds good. All right, give me a sec to just load up the course. Hold on. Sorry, my mouse is not playing that. Okay, so all of you should have received a welcome email with yeah. I do want to log out. Okay, so everyone should have received an email with their login to Moodle username and password. So if you go to our website and you see the login button up here, you click on it. Now, in your case, you're going to log in under the student portal. In my case, I'm just going to log in under the staff sort of administrative section. So it might be slightly different, but they'll give you a basic sense. When you get here, your page will look a little different than mine, but this is where you'll see access to Moodle. You'll have some resources here, which is a little more than what I've got, so you can access grades and tax receipts and all that good stuff. So also just click on Moodle. This is sort of my home page. Now, I've got a lot of courses that I look after and stuff, so I'll have a lot more, but you just have probably the one. So you'll go to accounting, you go to winter 2019, and you click on the online postgraduate. Now, again, you only have the one option. So, and here are all the courses so far that we've loaded to the system. So the first course is the fundamentals of financial accounting. So I'll click on that. Okay. So everyone should now see, I went through that fast, but it should be pretty intuitive. Everyone should have seen now the sort of main screen. I'm just going to change my settings here to be a student. So give me a second. Okay, so now you'll sort of see the screen you see on my computer is the one that you should see when you log in on your own at home. Okay, so I'll go through the course a little bit and show you around. Okay, Gulan, I see your question. I'll get to that shortly. Okay. So the first thing is the course overview, which is really like a course outline. So here's Bharat. He's our instructor. He's excellent, super nice guy. You can read a little about his background. He's a CPA. He actually teaches at several schools. He's taught lots of different accounting courses. He's very, very attentive to students, so I think you'll have a good starting experience with him. There's a bit about the course description. There are the outcomes, so at the end of the course you should learn all these things. A bit about the textbook, so here's the financial accounting textbook. And then the dates and the schedule, which I'll show you in a second. Here's the assessments, so here's the breakdown You'll have some group assignments, a couple of quizzes, participation, and then the final exam. So the quizzes will be timed. So I'll show you those in a little more detail, but basically the way those will work is they'll be open for a set time. Let's say from Wednesday to Sunday, the quizzes are open. When you start that quiz, you have to finish it in the allotted time. Let's just say it's an hour. So you can't start it on the Wednesday and then decide, oh gosh, I can't finish this now, I want to come back to it tomorrow. That's not allowed. So once you start that quiz, you've got 60 minutes to, I'm just making up the number, you got 60 minutes to finish it. So in one sitting, you have to complete that assignment, okay? For the final exam, you have two options. So you can take the exam through Examini, which is a company that we've sort of worked with. They do online proctoring. And Examini basically is a service that you do have to pay extra for, so we apologize, but you have to pay a fee to Examini to sort of sit for the exam. The other option is if you live close, and I know that Gulen lives in Turkey, so it's a little more tricky for him, or her, sorry if I got that wrong. Anyway, you can come to York and sit for the exam and there's no fee, or you can sort of do it through Examini in the comfort of your own home or at work, and there is a fee for that. So the way that Examini works is they will basically, you'll log into Examini, you'll schedule a time to take the exam, and they have a proctor that will watch you. So they'll basically take control of your computer. You'll have this webcam, which is a requirement. You'll have to show like a passport or your license to sort of confirm that you are who you are. And then you'll sort of scan the room with your laptop or your webcam to make sure that there's no posters on the wall with some written work and your desk is clear. There's nobody hovered under your desk that's going to share the answers. And then they'll watch you take the exam. So if they see your eyes peering away, if they see you looking down at some notes, if they see you going off the site and going to like Google and trying to Google a question around a formula, they'll red flag that, and then there's a chance that you'll be sort of given a 0 for the exam, or like I said, you could be removed from the program. So Examini sort of, again, is a sort of online proctoring service where someone's watching you take that exam. Oh, okay, sorry, thanks, Glenn. Okay, so here's a little more details on, if you have any questions about the exam, certainly let us know. I'll show you the contact information, how to contact us. And then, but don't worry about the exam today. We'll send you information about how that all works, how you sort of arrange for your scheduled date to take it in time and that kind of thing. But I just want to make you aware that that's how that all works. So here's sort of more information on the group assignments, the quizzes, and what they'll cover. There's short answer and multiple choice for the quizzes. There's participation, which goes back to the discussion boards and those kinds of things. And then there's the final exam, which is cumulative. Okay. So here's some information about the course. If you miss an assignment, what happens, evaluations. Here's obviously our grade book, things like that. And then, okay. Oh yeah, so at the bottom here is just our policy. So I would encourage everybody to read the policies around academic integrity and just whatever accommodations, university policies. So just so you're familiar with it, because you'll be required to sort of know them if something happens. It's the expectation that you would read them and understand them. So the next thing I'll click on is the schedule. So you can see here that here's the schedule of when things will happen, what you're learning in each week. Like I said, about 8 to 10 hours of effort. You can see when the quizzes sort of start and end, and those kinds of things, group work. It just gives you a basic rundown of when things are happening and when you should expect that final exam to take place. Okay. So for the actual modules themselves, so here are the modules. So we can click on the first one as an example. So there's a podcast. So there's a little introduction to the course. There's a little bit of information on the overview. You can actually just play a second of this. You won't hear it actually. I won't play it because you won't hear it through my computer. But you can obviously go and listen to it. There are the outcomes for the week, what you should be expecting to learn. Here's information on what you should be reading. So the first week they're expecting to read chapters 1 and 2. There's also these sort of slides from the presentations that you can read. There's some additional resources from the instructor, so I'll just click on that to see what that looks like. Sorry, my computer's a bit slow. So here are a whole bunch of videos that Bharat has put together on financial statements, so you can kind of read through those to learn a bit more. My computer's a little slow to pop up. Oh, there you go. Okay, so there's all those things. So that's the instructor providing you some additional resources to help you learn the content. Okay, there's a discussion post. Looks like some people started to post, so we'll go there and I'll show you what that looks like. And then there's some opportunities to practice what you've learned. So in this case, there's some groups that we've set up. You've got to look at examples 1 through 7 and 1 through 8. In your little small groups, you'll work through those problems, sort of sharing kind of, you work on it your own, you sort of share what your answers are and how you got to that, and somebody had a different answer, you kind of help each other kind of get to the right answer, and Bharat will sort of facilitate those and kind of help you through that process. And then we obviously will share the answers, so you can sort of see how you did compared to what the right answer is. There is marking rubrics and stuff, so you can click on that to sort of learn more about how you'll be graded. And each of the different weeks in the course are very similar. So you'll see that week 2, again, has a short little podcast from the instructor. There's the outcomes. There's more resources and videos and articles. There's another video on intro to income statements. So let's see what that looks like. So here's a little video on that. That's through another external source. So again, we just sort of compile these things to help you learn the content from different areas and different places. Here's information on the group assignment. So you can then read group assignment. So if you haven't done so, we'll open that up and see what it looks like. So there's information on what the assignment is. There's some data, and then there's a whole bunch of questions you need to then answer. Okay, so again, I'm going quickly, lots of information, but it's really just to sort of show you around the system so you can go back in and do your own sort of further research, or not research, but further cruising of the site. So here is the discussion forums. So in the course news and announcements, looks like there's 4 announcements, 3 from Bharat, who's sort of welcoming you to the class. Here's some problems for week 1 and 2. Here's how to get access to the companion site. So McGraw-Hill, who's the textbook publisher, has a website that they've created with additional problems and videos and things that they do for students to help them learn the material. And Diana's actually posted here a note about the groups. So if you click on that, you can click on the groups. Oh, looks like I can't access it for some strange reason. But anyway, if you guys go there, you will see which group you've been attached to, because when you get to the actual groups, sorry, let's go back to screen. So here you got group 1 assignments, the different groups. The weekly exercises are all group-based, so you'll kind of figure out what group you're in. There's 20 students in the class, and I think we created 2 groups. So it just allows you from a management perspective of trying to interact with that many students and answer questions. 20 is just obviously not reasonable. So we make it a little smaller, so it's 10 people, so it's easier for you, it's easier for the instructor. And then you can, oh, okay, thanks, Gulen. I'll ask Diane why you can't yet see the group. So, okay, we'll solve that problem, but for some reason it looks like you guys can't access or view the groups either, but we'll fix that straight after we finish this. So it looks like there are some people who've already introduced themselves to the class. So Fiona, Celeste, and Gulen. There you go. So one thing that's sort of nice to do is, it is nice to go into other people's intros, read them obviously because they're going to be your classmates for the next year and a half, but it's also nice to sort of comment. So in this case, we'll go to Gulen and we'll sort of look at her. She's from Turkey. They have their own business, import-export. So it's nice to sort of comment back and reply and sort of be like, hey, I've been to Turkey, which I actually have. Very beautiful. hey, that's great, you have your own business, so do I. You know, just say something that sort of connects you to people to try and build some relationships. Because again, as you go through the course, it's going to be really important for people to sort of have those opportunities to know each other in a way that's going to allow for, like I said earlier, the support groups and allow you to sort of set up some study groups and things like that. Now, when it comes to discussion groups, obviously in this case, Gulen is in Turkey. So that goes back to the course being asynchronous. So if there's a discussion post that the group is working on and everybody posts, you know, on Monday, well, it's obviously going to be 6-7 hours later for Gulen. So she'll obviously be replying to that later in the day. So, 8 hours. There you go. Very good. 8 hours difference, not 7, sorry. Anyway, so in terms of, you know, when you post, it's not like instant messaging where things are happening live. So people post their response to the practice activities, they'll post their results, what they've learned, and then maybe 5 hours later, somebody else will post. So the next morning, somebody else will post something. And you just sort of build on that. And you want to add to the sort of conversation, right? So don't worry about it if it's not in the same, you're not in the same time zone. If you're in a different country, doesn't really matter because as a group. But one thing I will say, it is good to start those discussions and those group work early in the week. Don't wait until Saturday because then it means less time for people to sort of participate and chime in. So the sooner you start it in the week, the sooner that everyone can kind of be actively involved, and that's just going to make the learning, I think, a bit easier for everybody. So don't wait for the end. Yes, so just answering Gulen again. So yes, most of the discussions will be through the posts and the discussion boards and the question and answer sort of areas. So again, there's no time you need to be online that's live. I don't think any course does anything live. So yeah, so most of that stuff will be done through posts, and most courses will have some type of group work somewhere, either a discussion board, or if it's a course where there's a project that I have to do together, somewhere, sometime in every course is some type of group work, okay? Okay, so let's just go back to the start. Okay, so any questions on that, just send me a quick note and I can answer that. So here's the assignments and quizzes. So again, you can sort of see that there's quizzes. If we click on quiz 1, this is actually old, so you can ignore this. We're actually updating the quizzes, but you can just sort of get a sense that there's 2 hours to complete it. So that sort of gives you a sense of how long that quiz is. So it's called a quiz, but 2 hours is certainly more like a small exam. Okay. You can download the group assignments. So again, we've already done that. You've seen that that looks like. This is also where you'll post your work if there's an activity that needs to be posted, like a group paper. This is where you'll do that as well. Here's the final exam, which may be outdated as well, which is being updated. So yeah, the dates are wrong, so don't worry about that. But you do have 3 hours to complete the final exam. So it's a cumulative exam. So we'll update all that this afternoon. Sorry, it's kind of not updated. I'll double check with Diane on that and see why. And if you have questions throughout the course, here is the sort of information that will best help you. So Diane is the program coordinator. You may have heard from her already, and she's the program coordinator. And she really handles the administration of the course itself. So not the instructor in the content, but if you have questions around schedules, transfers and withdrawals, textbooks, all the sort of program logistics stuff. Obviously, there's no room assignments for you here, so you don't have to worry about that. Our technical people, if you have questions around Moodle, obviously Wi-Fi is not an issue unless you're on campus, so this is sort of a generic page, but if you have questions around can't access something or something seems to be broken, send a note to the itscs@yorkview.ca email, and they will respond. And all of our customer service is within 24 hours, so that's kind of our mandate, is to be back in touch with you within 24 hours. Here's the instructor's email for Bharat. So if you have questions for Bharat around exams, assignments, obviously not so much missed classes because it's online, but if you don't have access to the internet for 1 week, you need to let him know. Sorry, my phone's ringing there. I can't turn it off. Okay. About grades, about software, all that goes to the instructor. So again, this is really just to give you a sense of who does what. So you're sending your questions to the right person, which will then get it answered much more quickly. The registration coordinator looks after tax receipts and your academic records, payment plans, confirmation letters, graduation, that kind of stuff. And my role as a program manager is really about making sure you have a very successful learning experience. So if you have feedback on the course, on the instructor, you need accommodations, that's the kind of stuff that I can be most helpful with. So again, I'll leave this here just so you kind of have it. But really, this is kind of where you will go and then write to the correct person to get your questions answered. But don't forget, if you have questions about the course, the best place to sometimes post them is into the general course questions. So if you go to the general course discussion board, you hit add a new discussion post, you put in, help with quiz 2, and you put your thing here, you write your note, and then if you go to the bottom and you hit post to forum, everyone will see that question. And that's really helpful because if you have a question, it's probably the case that somebody else has the same question. So instead of sending a note to Bharat directly through his email, it's better to post it to the discussion board for him. Don't post things to Diane in the discussion board here or me, but just really for Bharat. So this is kind of where you would do that. So, and this way everyone can see the question, everybody sees the answers, and again, just makes for an easier way to manage all the questions and the information. I'll just cancel that. So that was really my goal, was to kind of show you around the course, give you a quick overview of how to access Moodle, how to get around Moodle. If you have specific questions, I'm happy to answer them now. I'm happy to stay on as long as you guys need. It looks like some people have already been on board, so that's great. Already posting to the discussion forums, which is awesome. So, like I said, if you have questions, I'm happy to stick around. If you don't, that's fine too. I certainly wanted to wish everybody good luck in the class, good luck in the program. We hope it's a very positive learning experience for you. You're welcome, Gulen. Thanks very much. Thanks for joining us from Turkey. And yeah, if there's no other questions, then I'll sign off. And that's it. Okay, so I don't see any other questions. So thanks everybody for being part of the orientation. Hopefully you found something here that was helpful that you didn't know before. And if you have any questions, certainly reach out to the CP help at yorkview.ca, reach out to the instructor, or reach out to me if it's something at a higher level. All right, guys, have a great day. Enjoy the afternoon, and good luck with your studies.